Hey everyone, it's Bree Noel, and welcome back to another episode on Open the Lock. So, as you all already know, because of all the postings on my social media, TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, I actually attended a 4-day seminar called Unleash the Power Within, and it's from Tony Robbins. I flew all the way to Texas, Dallas, Texas, with my parents and a few family members. And oh my God, it was the most beautiful experience, and it was literally so crazy. Like, oh my God, such a life-changing experience. So different from all the other seminars that people attend to and all the other, shows or, all the events that motivational speakers have, or even seeing a life coach. It is completely different. And what I'm going to do today is teach you some of the things that I learned. And I'm going to kind of have a series of each episode is going to be something different of what I learned during this 4-day seminar. And so, yeah, let's just get straight into it. So today I want to teach you guys about being in a beautiful state. And in the seminar, they gave us like a book and basically whatever questions, they had for us, every day they had a section, and basically we would answer whatever they're asking us, whatever we're talking about, so this is stuff that we can go back to and read it and, start to implement these things into our life when we get back home. So this first page, which was the first thing that we learned about, was being in a beautiful state. And I actually think this is the most important subject and topic out of all the other ones, because being in such a happy state and being so, grateful all the time is something that we should all experience. It's something that we should just be on a day-to-day basis, and I actually tell my boyfriend this is the first thing I tell him too, because this is something that everybody has a problem with. Everybody has a problem with being angry all the time. People are waking up angry. People are going to sleep angry. People are letting small little things in their life take over them. And it's like their whole day is messed up, and their whole day is upsetting because of one thing that got in their way. And it didn't have to if they didn't let it. And so what they asked us to write down was decide now to live in a beautiful state every day, no matter what. And people say beautiful state because, and Tony actually told us a story where he went to India, and Tony used to say being in a happy state and a sad state. But someone was talking to him and was like, Tony, how about you switch, instead of saying happy and sad, how about you say beautiful and suffering state? So beautiful would be the happy state and suffering would be the sad state. And he said this because when you think of being in a beautiful state, you think of everything being so good, everything being so happy, everything being so just amazing and fulfilling. But then when you think of yourself suffering, you're like, I don't want to suffer. I don't suffer. This is not me. I don't want to suffer for the rest of my life. So it's like once you hear the word suffering, it's like you do not want to feel that emotion anymore. And so I actually love this because me too, even when I think of the word suffering, I'm like, the fuck, I don't want to be suffering. Like suffering is something I will never, ever, ever do. And so this is why I feel like it's so important, because you can choose whatever you want to put emotion to in life. And that is exactly what I learned from the seminar, was that let's say something happens to you. There's traffic in the morning, someone's driving slow. You didn't get the right sauce for your food. They put pickles on your food, and you put an emotion to that and you get angry. And that makes you angry for what? For like a few minutes, maybe an hour, maybe 2 hours. Like, do you not understand how precious life is? Life is so short and life is so small and precious to be suffering and to be upset about something that doesn't give you any purpose in life whatsoever. This is why I choose to always be happy, always be in a beautiful state, no matter what it is. And he asked us what were our 2 favorite flavors of suffering. That was one of the questions. And I actually wrote down my 2 favorite flavors of suffering. Let me go to it. So if you don't understand what that means, and I actually want you to follow along as I say this to you. So I'm going to share also so we can kind of feel like, I'm with you. So the question was, what's your two favorite flavors of suffering? And my two favorite flavors were laziness and fear are my two favorite flavors of suffering. And this is asking you, what are your two favorite states of being in? When you're sad, what are the two most common states that you go into? Either it's anxiety, stress, depression, laziness, complaining, bickering, angry, sadness, anything that is a negative emotion, not anything positive. And they say, or Tony says, that to use the 90-second rule. Basically, to only feel that emotion for 90 seconds. You're allowed to feel the emotion. No one is saying that you cannot feel what you want to feel. Or if you want to be sad in a moment, no one's saying you can't. But he says to only do it for a maximum of 90 seconds. Feel that emotion, count 90 seconds, and you switch it right off. Because you are in control of every single thing. Every single emotion, every single feeling, every single thought that you have in your life. The next question was, what tends to trigger those two emotions? And when you get triggered, what do you feel? That is what he asks us to write down. And I'm going to be very, very honest, is what triggers me to be lazy is when I realize all the work that has to be done, all the things that I need to do throughout the day, it stresses me out. So I just don't want to do it. And I get triggered. When I get triggered, I feel so low. And I don't want to complete my tasks because now my energy was up here to complete my task. But once I realize, I have to do this, and this, it goes low. And I become lazy. And then I end up not doing it. And that really upsets me because I'm a type of person that I want to have my schedule full, day to day. I want to be full. I want to not have time to even look at my phone. But it doesn't always happen, especially at this age that I am at. I'm not always going to have a full schedule. I'm only 17 years old. There's only so much that I can do. And so if this is you and you're someone who's lazy, don't be, especially if it's because you get stressed out because of the things you have to do. Do not get stressed out because these things that you're going to complete, these tasks that you're going to tackle on, is just to make you better. It's not to make you worse. It's not to make you weak. This is to make you strong. So in the future, you're prepared and you're ready to attack everything that's coming your way. And the other trigger, because it was laziness and fear for me. And the second most was being fearful. And I put, what triggers me to be fearful is when I see my podcast views, likes, and followers. And when I don't finish my tasks. So what scares me is that because I don't have X amount of followers, X amount of likes, X amount of comments, X amount of views, I tend to get fearful. And I'm like, what if I don't make it? What if I am wasting all this time just pumping out videos and no one's even seeing it? And that really upsets me because I want to already be up here. But what I need to understand is, and a lot of people need to understand, is that shit takes time. You're not going to be at 0% and you get to 100%. And that's why you need to just live the seasons of life. You need to wait for your chance to come because it is not physically possible for you to be at 0% and go to 100. You have to also learn the things that are going along the way. Because if you're at 0 and then the next day you're at 100%, you didn't learn anything. That's why it takes years and months for people to get places, because they need to learn. They need to obtain those skills for them to become successful. And that's something that a lot of people don't understand as well. When people have things that they go through, when people have problems and traumas that they have not dealt with and it's still being packed up all in here, obviously it is not, I don't know what the word is, but it's not very likely for you to just switch that and not feel those emotions anymore and not feel that pain and hurt. You're still going to feel those things, but each and every day you can feel, 1% less of it. Because also when you're a person who has all this stuff that you have had to deal with throughout your life, whether it's trauma, depression, anxiety, anything that someone could possibly go through, when you're constantly building that up and you're constantly living in that and living in your story, that is what is holding you back from all the things that you can achieve in life. Every single thing. And that's why people become victims, because they stay in that mentality and they don't want to change. They think that they're so comfortable where they're at. And that's something that I actually also go through as well. I get so comfortable where I'm at and I don't want to keep progressing. I don't want to keep moving forward because I'm okay with being like this each and every day, each and every week, each and every month, and each and every year. And what people need to understand, and what I also need to understand, is that we need to get out of that funk. We need to get out of that state and being so comfortable to finally get to the places we want to. Because you're never going to achieve anything when you're so stuck and you're not grateful. And that is another topic. I'm not going to talk about it now. But that is also something that I learned so much about in this seminar, is being grateful, because I was such an ungrateful person, guys. Like, and it's so hard for me to admit that because people have always said it my whole life, but I've never accepted it. I was a very ungrateful person. And I was never thankful for anything. And being in this seminar has made me realize how many things I have to be grateful for, because a lot of people don't have those opportunities. A lot of people don't have the things that I have. And I need to be very, very thankful for that. So let's move on from that. And now the third question that Tony asks you is, what are you going to do instead? What are some simple ways that you can break your own pattern? Instead of you feeling those feelings of suffering, that state of suffering, what are the 2 things that you're going to do instead? Instead of feeling lazy, instead of feeling fear and fearful, what are you going to do instead? And my answer was, for the laziness, I will remind myself that the reason I'm doing all these tasks is for my well-being, and for the life that I want to build, and for the life that I want to live. And I need to push myself and not think that things are easy, because this is something also I'm going to share. People can call me spoiled. People can call me a spoiled brat. People can call me business. I don't really care. But what I will say is that I'm a person who has always gotten whatever they wanted in life. I am very blessed, and I am very fortunate to say that, because my mom worked her butt off for me to have the things that she did not have in life. And I'm so grateful for that she sacrificed her whole life and everything for me to have all the things that she didn't have in life. And so I had so many choices. I got to do whatever I wanted to do. If I wanted this to eat today, I would have it. If I wanted this new pair of shoes, I would have it. If I wanted this shirt, these pants, anything. And not a lot of people get to say that. And so sometimes when I get lazy, I have to remind myself of all the things that people have done for me, all the things that people have sacrificed for me to be in the place where I'm at now. And that the work that I am doing now is for me to pass that on to my kids, and for me to also pass it on to my future self. This work that I'm doing is not just for me to do the work. It's for me to fulfill my needs. It's for me to fulfill that void that I have in my heart, and the things that I need to do to help others, because this is what I love to do. I love helping people, no matter who it is, what time it is, what day it is. I love helping people, and I will never stop. And so that's something that can break my pattern for being lazy. And the other one for fear would be, I will appreciate every view, every follow, every like, and every comment, because you never know the one person that you could be helping. And that's something that I always forget, is that I never know that one person I could be helping. Because of course on YouTube, you don't see who's viewing your stuff. You don't see the username or the page or whatever the person looks like. All you see is the views and the likes and the comments. You can see who comments, but followers, no, people who's returning back to your videos, you don't know. And even that one view, you don't know if that's the one viewer that keeps returning back to all your videos. And I lose sight of that. And I need to now be grateful for even just one person looking at it, 2 people looking at it, even commenting, even liking it, even sharing it, because it means a lot. because you don't know if that one share is going to make a difference in something. You don't know if that's going to change something. I also put that I will finish my tasks so I feel accomplished and not fearful. I need to remind myself that it's a journey and building my podcast won't be easy. And if I don't put my all the time, I will feel less fearful and more fulfilled. Basically meaning that if I'm doing my podcasts, if I am coming out with content on Instagram or shorts or reels or even videos on Facebook or going live, that will fulfill that fear. That will also fulfill that the laziness, because if I'm doing my work, I will not feel lazy. I will be basically accomplishing those tasks and getting through those tasks that I wanted to do in the first place, but I was too scared and I was too lazy. And so I'm actually going to give you a perfect example. Yesterday and today. Today is Wednesday, I believe. Wednesday, November 15th. And yesterday was Tuesday. And so when I was in the airport Monday night, when I was coming back from Texas, I actually wrote down a schedule. And I love having schedules, because I feel like when I don't, my life is kind of a mess. And I feel like I'm not basically like, I don't know what the word is, like just finishing all the tasks that I want to. So every week now I have promised myself that I will make a schedule, and I literally have this week's schedule and I check mark everything that I do. It feels good to me. And so for my schedule for yesterday, for Tuesday, was prayer/journal, school, gym, allergy appointment, grocery shopping, and filming. I was supposed to film yesterday, but I got so overwhelmed with all the tasks that I had to do. I didn't get lazy, though. I didn't get lazy. I told myself, I felt so overwhelmed, but I still accomplished many of the things that I wanted to that day. And I was so proud of myself, because usually I don't. Usually I put it off and I'm like, no, thank you. But I was so proud of myself. And I was like, you know what? I did what I had to do today. I can save filming for tomorrow. That doesn't mean that, I was being lazy. No, but I felt fulfilled in that day. And I knew that I didn't have to film today. I just chose to. But today I really needed to. So I told myself, for Wednesday, prayer/journal in the morning, I'm going to do school, which is 10 to 10:45 every day. And then I'm going to film in the morning, and then I'm going to go to work right after. And then I'm going to go to the gym in the nighttime. Yes. So with that being said, that's exactly what I'm doing right now. I'm filming, and this is something that I didn't complete yesterday, but I'm doing it now. And so it makes up for it. You know, if I'm just constantly putting it off, and I'm putting it off for 3, 4, 5 days a week, which is what I have done before, that is the pattern that I would be going to again. That is the cycle that I would constantly be going to. And that's not the cycle that I'm ever going to go to now, because of the things that I've learned. And now I'm tackling every single task on my schedule. And I'm just so happy that I have done this, because it makes me feel more happy in what I'm doing. It makes me realize that I can actually fill all the tasks that I need to throughout the day without being lazy, without being fearful. You know, I don't want to feel those things. I don't think anybody who has those negative emotions wants to ever feel like that. You think a depressed person wants to feel depressed. You think a person who has anxiety wants to have anxiety. You think a person who stresses wants to stress. No, nobody wants to. And so that's why when you know that you're already getting to that place, you just switch it. You can feel it. No one's saying you can't. But switch it. Don't live in it for that long, because if you do, that's what's you're going to put an emotion to that, and it's just going to keep filling and filling and filling and filling. And then for the whole day, you're going to feel like that when you don't even want to in the first place. So I am challenging you, when you watch this podcast, when I release it, to try these things that I'm teaching you. Learn it, implement it into your life, and actually start living on it day by day. Don't just do it once and you're like, you throw it. You know, like you wear one piece of clothing and you throw it to the back of your closet. No, constantly wear it, constantly do it, constantly practice it. Because once you practice it, it's going to gets stuck in here. And you're never going to forget it. Honestly, this is not the longest video I've had, but usually when I have longer videos, a lot of people don't like to view it because it's so long. But I'm really, 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 really challenging you guys to watch this video. Watch it all the way. Rewatch it as well. Don't just watch it once, but you can watch it again. Just like all the stuff that I have written down, you don't just write it down once and you never go to it again. No, you constantly read it. You constantly learn it and you start implementing those things into your life. So thank you guys so much, so much for clicking today's video and just listening to me, hearing me out, and starting to change your life for the better. Because all these things that I'm teaching you is for you to change your life for the better. I would not tell you things that I don't do myself. And I'm not going to lie to you guys and say that I do something and I really don't, because I actually really do these things and I will do it for the rest of my life. And so, yes, again, thank you guys so much for just clicking the video, watching it. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And also share this video if you could be so generous. And I will see you guys next week.